full. And my name is Sona Bahri, and I work with a team in Inner Space Center in Abu Dhabi. So welcome to everyone. I know we have people on from Thailand, from Singapore, from China. Welcome, welcome. And from the Middle East, I'm very aware there's people on from the UAE and also from KSA, from Saudi Arabia, and India, of course. So I know more people will be joining, but I want to respect your time. Let's start. This topic is very close to my heart. I guess my entire spiritual journey for the last 37 years comes down to the big question: how full or how empty am I? Because everything in my life is a domino effect of the state of the soul. Even this whole life that we live, you know, many people say my own life and what's happening around me is nothing but a mirror of what's happening inside. So if I am full, well, that will be expressed on the outside and it's mirrored. If I'm empty, that too is going to be expressed on the outside and mirrored. And whatever is happening to me, well, it feels like it's happening to me, is what is meant to be, to help me go from wherever I am to my state of being soul full. Full on the inside, full spiritually, full emotionally, full from a deep perspective of the soul. Okay, so I guess the first part of this workshop is to discuss, well, what is being full on the inside? And there are 4 areas that I believe we all need to be full in spiritually. Yeah? When we say I am full, I am content, you know, often we refer to one of these 4 areas rather than all 4. So let me just spell out these 4, and you can perhaps, you know, evaluate in your own mind, where am I at with each one of these? The first is a soul who is full is complete in its wisdom. When we say wisdom, we mean knowledge as well, but not knowledge of, you know, what's on Google, professional knowledge. All that's important. That is important, and you need to know what you need to know to do what you have to do in life. But soul knowledge or soul wisdom is knowing myself accurately, spiritually. Soul wisdom is knowing who I am on the inside, who I belong to, and what I'm doing here. That is soul wisdom, soul knowledge. So firstly, am I really aware of these 3 things? Who am I? Who do I belong to? What am I doing here? Okay, so that's the first area of being full. The second area of being full is having inner strength, being full of power. Because if I am full of power, it just means that I can achieve what I want to achieve as soon as I have the thought. So I say in my mind, I want to achieve this, I want to be this, and I can be that. So today I want to be content, today I want to be tolerant, in this moment I need to be peaceful, and I can pull it up in a minute because power is there. And so it just means that I don't have any resistance inside me, any weakness. That's soul power, spiritual power. The third area that we need to be full is virtues. Virtues meaning the expression of the soul in its interaction with others. It's very pure. It's very clean. The soul doesn't dip into its negative self when it expresses itself, when it responds to life. And whilst, we all have experienced moments where we are really very virtuous, very kind, very loving, very peaceful, very joyful, very compassionate. And then, as we know, those virtues sometimes dip into my negative traits as well. And so a full soul also means, it's not just about me knowing things, having inner wisdom. It's not just about me feeling powerful inside, but it's the expression of those two in my daily interactions. So important. So virtues in action. The fourth one, which is a little bit tricky, to be full, I also need good wishes from others. Of course, if the third point is accurate, you will get good wishes from others. But having that good wishes, those good wishes, or that feeling of good energy coming towards you from everything external to you, from other people, even from what's happening around you, situations. When we say the word, I feel blessed. So it's really feeling like good energy coming back to you in life. And for a soul to be full, you need that. It doesn't mean that everything is going perfectly in your life, no. But because of the energy you put out, the vibrations you put out through your virtues, you feel that you have the cooperation and the support of people that you want on side. So these are the four things that constitute what is soulful. And what's a measure? Because I've told you the four areas, but how do I measure how full I am? Well, how do you know if a glass is full? You see it's got that much water, and if the glass is super full, it will overflow, right? When it's overflowing, you're very sure it's full. If it's 1 millimeter empty from the top of the cup, it's not 100% full. It's doing well, it's very good, not overflowing. So the measure that I am completely full is that my energy, my vibrations touch everyone I meet with that energy of virtues. Ultimately, I think it boils down to three main virtues. You've got peace, love, and happiness. Like the three primary virtues or the three primary colors in the soul. And imagine if we were full, we would be overflowing with these beautiful virtues, not just overflowing while sitting in a cave, but whoever I come in touch with, whoever I come into contact with, they can feel one of these from me. What a world it would be, where everywhere I go, I, this being, the soul, touch everybody, everything, even nature, with an imprint of peace, love, and happiness. And then imagine the exchange of energy between us. The peace, love, and happiness being exchanged as we, pass it on to each other. So the sign of a soul being full is that I can and I do overflow in every moment, in every interaction. Isn't that beautiful? So I guess, throughout this whole workshop, you might want to ask yourself, check yourself, am I full? Or am I semi-full, half full, quarter full, 3/4 full? Am I tending towards being empty? It's impossible to say I'm full and for others to say, no, you're empty. It's impossible. It's impossible to say, others don't know me. I'm actually okay. I'm full. But the energy that's going out from you is not right. You can fake it on the outside. When the soul is full, there's no need to fake anything. Isn't that really, really something to think about? Spiritual energy is your natural energy. It's the core of who you are. You can't in any way ignore that. It's something that will radiate. And this is why some people are very naturally loving, you know? I think mums are a bit like that, aren't they? Mothers, maybe fathers as well, but naturally people sense love from a mother. You know, and some teachers, being very good teachers, they're so supportive, you know, and kids like a particular teacher because they know, oh, Miss so-and-so, you know, she'll help me out, she'll support me. And there's such a feeling of getting support. So, yeah, it's quite interesting how whatever I am on the inside naturally, that will overflow. And you may not be soulful full, as in completely full today, but there may be one or two qualities that you have. Of all the things I mentioned, there may be some things that you have that are, you know, quite strong within you, quite full. And so you are naturally giving that energy out, which is also very beautiful. So this is how you can tell the areas where you are full, but possibly also the areas where a little bit of work needs to be done. So the next thing is, so yes, so a full soul is contagious. That's the word I like to use, you know. You have so much joy inside you that wherever you go, you pass that on to others naturally. I have a wonderful mentor. He lives in Australia. His name is Charlie. Some of you on the call might know him. We call him Charlie or Brother Charlie. He's been meditating for 50 years. And he's got this infectious laugh. Even thinking about him makes me laugh. When he walks into a room, you know, he just makes everybody smile and laugh. It's really amazing. And if he's in the house, in any building, you know Charlie's present because he'll be on the phone, giggling away with people, laughing. You know, he just brings joy, brings so much happiness to any place. In the same way, as I said, somebody might walk in the room and there's so much peace, so much calm, so much serenity. You know, you just get a sense of, you know, like the energy just really becomes very soft and stable. And of course, as I gave the example before, mothers, contagious with their love. Everyone knows they can run to a mother and she'll look after them, she'll feed them, she'll make sure that they're okay. So this is what it means. So the big question now, the huge question is, okay, I can be full for an hour a day, but am I forever full? Soul full doesn't mean soul full in this moment. It doesn't mean I'm full for a short amount of time. I guess the result of a spiritual journey, and I guess maybe some of you are on this journey with me as well, you know, trying to get to my highest self. The result of that is soul full forever. So it's not just soulful, we add another word on the end, soulful forever. Meaning there's a consistency, there's a constancy, there's a stability in my being full. I'm not like this. Because it feels good when you're full, but then you crash, and then again you're full, and then you crash. And, you know, this is what we're used to doing in life. It's actually not very good. It's not good for me. It's not good for others. It means I'm reactive. It means that the world dictates what I am. You know, when things are going my way, I'm full. When things are not going my way, crash. You know, this is what happens. So, soulful is a state where really I need to work on being able to maintain my state of fullness. So then the question arises, well, what are the blocks to me being full? What is it that stops me from being full? And as I explained, you know, this reactivity, this up and down, comes from I, the being, internally having some form of negative energy that then gets triggered. And when it gets triggered by the outside world, I crash into that negativity. So we say that when the soul is full, the mind is stable. Why? Because a soul being full means that inside me, in the subconscious mind, I'm clean, I'm pure, I don't have these heavy reactions. I don't have these negative energies that keep getting triggered and force me to go up and down. And I'm sure that those on the call, you know, you're all on a spiritual journey. And so you've understood that it's not people who make me feel a particular way. I feel that way. I feel that way because that's where I'm at. And so I accept responsibility that these emotions are caused by me, the reactions are because of me. I'm not saying that they're perfect, but I still have a choice in the way I react. So if I'm reacting out of my negative emotions, it means those triggers are still there in the subconscious mind. And if that's the situation, then my mind can never be stable, can never be constant. If I want a constant mind, if I want stability in my thoughts and feelings, in my actions, interactions, I need to have a stable, clean, subconscious mind. When the mind is not stable, it's not concentrated, it's not focused. We call it the monkey mind, right? The mind is busy and the mind wanders. So where does the mind wander? Where does the monkey mind go? You know, we say the monkey mind goes from branch to branch. Where are these branches? Where does the mind go and wander? Anyone have an idea? Where does the mind wander? What pulls the mind? Have you ever thought about it? When your mind is not stable and you know that you're, fluctuating, going here and there, what is it that pulls the mind? Where does the mind go? Anyone online like to unmute yourself and say or write something in the chat box? It's worth thinking about, isn't it?
Our thoughts.
Sorry?
I said our thoughts.
So the thoughts are what the mind produces. Where do the thoughts go? Where do your thoughts go? Where do my thoughts go? How come it's different? Your monkey mind is different to my monkey mind. Right?
Hello, sister.
Yes.
If you are not focusing and if you are in a monkey mind, as you said, then it's just called waste because you're not focusing anything and you're wasting everything. It's just everything going.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's called waste, but where is this waste? When we say the monkey mind goes everywhere, it wanders everywhere, where does it go? Where does your monkey mind go? And how come my monkey mind goes somewhere else? Where do they go?
These thoughts are a form of energy that may manifest in emotions because of the different experiences we go through, I believe.
Yes, very good, very good. Yes,
So
you're getting
thoughts,
closer. You're getting closer.
Thoughts, emotions,
the thoughts are
reaction.
the mind. The mind produces thoughts, yes.
Yeah. So I believe in this change: thoughts, emotions, reactions, and we go into this vicious cycle every now and then.
All right. So anyone else? Anyone else has
Yes, I
last
think.
answer?
Hi,
Yes?
Sona. This is Amani from Jeddah.
Yes, the money
So I think it goes to behaviors.
goes to my behaviors. Very good. Or somebody else's behavior.
Yes,
Fantastic.
and that's why it's the difference. It's the reactions and the behaviors. That's explain why the same thing happened to two people. One have a huge reaction, which is full of anger and whatever you can call, and the other one is very calm and as if nothing happened. That's what I think.
Lovely. Great. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Amani. So lovely answers. Thank you. It's nice that you're all engaged. I was just making sure actually that you're not sleeping. That was why I asked the question. So where does the monkey mind go? So my monkey mind will go into my subconscious mind. And what will it find in the subconscious mind? Anything that is unresolved. What do I mean by that? Any incident, any circumstance, any memory, any experience, any behavior, anything that is in my subconscious mind that is unresolved is where my mind will go. So when we say my mind is wandering, today my mind is not stable. It's not wandering out there. It's not on a tree, jumping from branch to branch. It's in my inside tree. It's jumping from memory to memory, experience to experience. But which experiences pull it? The ones that are unresolved. It's the areas inside me that in another language you could say are not healed. So as you know, when you go through life, things happen. And there is the impact of life on us. So you have things are said, things are done to you, like things happen, and you store them inside your subconscious mind in the form of your memories based on how you saw it. Somebody might have done something very nice, but you stored it as something not nice. So it's not so much about what happened out there, but your memory and the way that you perceived things at the time. You store it inside. And then that, if it hasn't been processed properly, if it hasn't been understood with the eyes of wisdom and understanding and, appreciation that came to teach you something, it remains unresolved. And therefore, all of us in our subconscious mind have got these things that are stored inside. It's a little bit like, I could say, they are open wounds. Does that make sense? You have an open wound and then you have a closed wound. When the wound has started to heal and you put a Band-Aid on top, it's closed. And at some point, the wound closes so much, like the skin grows over if you've hurt yourself, that it won't get infected. And you know that you can take the Band-Aid off and go out and it's okay. Yes, there's inner healing that needs to happen, but it won't get infected. And so it's the same inside the soul. If we have open wounds, they can be triggered.
It's also interesting.
Wound, sorry?
I'm sorry, Sona. It's just interesting when we see some people who lose their memories because of accidents or because of traumas, they become different people. And we see this in life, and I've seen it with somebody who was dear to me. They become more peaceful, become different. They don't have the same anxiety. They don't have the same program somehow. And
Absolutely.
is could it happen? Yes. But also we shouldn't go through the traumas or shouldn't go through the accidents to lose the bad memories, to be different, to live happier. We can do it with full consciousness and full awareness and just extract all the emotions from those experiences that become wisdom. That's my humble opinion.
It's wonderful, beautiful.
Sorry
Imagine
for
if we could have spiritual Alzheimer's, right? Where we spiritually decide to forget that which is pulling me down, which is dragging me into my weaknesses, dragging me into my triggers, dragging me into my negative emotions. So if we could have spiritual Alzheimer's, which is exactly what I was going to talk about, in the sense that let's heal all of these things inside the subconscious mind that are actually making me react. Because if I can do that, and there isn't this bubbling energy, you know, these open wounds, they're like a bubbling energy inside. And that bubbling energy then is affecting my mind. My mind, even though I'm meditating, I'm very peaceful for half an hour, the minute I get up from that meditation, because I haven't really resolved the subconscious mind, yeah, the mind starts to bubble again. Initially, you don't feel it so much. It's just there, like on a, you know, when your gas is on sim, very, very low flame, it's just a little bubble. But then someone comes and triggers that open wound. Again, you know, it's full blast. You know, you put the gas on to full and oh, it all comes out. It all comes out. So soulful means that all of this stuff inside the subconscious mind has been dealt with love, but more than anything, with understanding. I understand why anyone is the way they are. I understand why I am the way I am. Because I can see the void, I can see the lack in the soul. I can see my own emptiness. Not from a perspective of I need to criticize this, I need to judge this. No, that's not going to help you. But to see it with compassion that, yeah, okay, these are the areas that need a little bit of support. And so when I start to do that, and I deeply understand myself, then I can start to clean up the subconscious mind, resolve these issues. And when the issues start to be resolved, the mind becomes a lot more stable. I'm less reactive. Things happen, it's okay. I don't blame. I don't blame myself. I don't blame others. It's happening. It is what it is. I can maintain my stability. You know, a full glass is more stable than an empty glass. So full forever means all the cleaning is done. And that is for all of us our complete stage, our perfect stage. I'm not saying that we're there yet. Don't get, you know, like, oh, that's not human. No, it's our aim. It's where we want to go. And so it's little steps at a time. And these steps are the checking. The inner checking that says, okay, where did I react? Why did I react? Exactly what is it inside me that got triggered?
Can I say something, Sona?
Can I just finish the sentence, please? Because you know, I'll lose my track. I will give you time for questions if you don't mind, but I'll just forget what I was going to say. So, what happens is, it's like one little step at a time. And these steps are the steps of checking. Checking at every point in my life, why did I react like this? Where did that reaction come from? What got triggered? What is that void or emptiness inside me? What is that programming inside me? Like it might be a little mini program inside me that is constantly being pushed. And every time there's a bit of a wobble, I like to call it a wobble. Every time I wobble inside, every time there's a little bit of a, you know, a bit of a challenging time in my life, check, what made me wobble? Invariably, wherever there is a wobble, it is because of some attachment. It could be an attachment to people. It could be an attachment to an outcome, which I call an expectation. I want things to go this way. It could be an attachment to, you know, the past and how the past should have been. This word should. It can be an attachment to the way I want the future to go. It could be an attachment to my thoughts, my opinions, my ideas, my personality. If I'm attached to my personality, then I will not be comfortable with someone who has an opposing personality. I'll repeat it. Listen carefully. If I'm attached to my personality, which means my thoughts, my ideas, my opinions, my habits, my ways, basically, I will not be comfortable with someone who has an opposing personality. I will reject them. And it doesn't mean that if someone's doing something that is not virtuous, that's violent, that's hateful, that's a good thing. But if I understand them, I know this is just their wiring and their personality. And I can say, okay, I accept. This is why they're doing what they're doing. Recently, in my own family, actually within the last month, I had somebody make some decisions. No consultation. No asking anyone what they felt about it. And the decisions impact people, right? You try to talk to them, don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to do what I want to do. And I sat with myself and I thought, why are they behaving this way? And I understood. There's a guilt inside them. There's a guilt from the past telling them that what you did was not good. Therefore, they don't want to go through that emotion again. Of course, they have not resolved the past guilt. That's why it's there. That guilt is making them make decisions with such force, and they can't face that guilt, so they don't ask anyone for any of their thoughts, their views, their ideas. It's like this, blinkered vision that I don't want to look at the past, I don't want to sort things out, I just want to do things in this way so I don't feel guilty again. It took me a few days to process why they did what they did, why they made this decision. And what I found personally is if I understand someone, I know where they're coming from. I don't judge. I don't criticize. I don't want to be guilty like that person, so I'm not saying that the emotion they're going through is good, but I understand them, so I don't react. And I don't allow them to trigger me. And the minute I understood it, something inside me was resolved. There was no more this bubbling happening. It was like, oh, okay, I get it. It's fine. And their actions no longer triggered me to feel like, hey, we're also your family. You could also ask us. Do our opinions not count at all? Are we so imbecile, so dumb that we don't have a say? I suddenly realized it's got nothing to do with us. This is their guilt playing out. And there was so much compassion, so much mercy. It's like, okay, let it play out. If this is going to make you feel better, just do it. It's fine. Isn't it interesting how that understanding, the power inside, and me picking up my own virtues helped me to resolve the situation inside me. So I didn't have to struggle and go, why are you like this? Why are you like that? What am I supposed to do? And all of that stuff. So I need to clean my subconscious mind deeply for me not to react to another. Okay, at this point in time, I will just open up for a few questions, but I do have a little segment more that I need to cover. So anyone like to ask a question? I give you 5 minutes, okay?
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
Can you hear me?
I can, indeed.
Now that Baba has told us the truth and is also encouraging us to say the truth, I find that a lot of my family members and my friends, I have nothing to say to them because we have been talking about superficial things all our life. And that really puts a gulf between me and them. How do I deal with that?
Yeah, Jamila, lovely question. Jamila's joined from the UK. When I am spiritually full, remember the first thing that we need to have is wisdom or understanding.
Yes.
My family too, not everyone is spiritual. A minority of us are spiritual, a majority are not. But I don't distance myself from them in the sense that anyway, I don't meet them all the time. They're in different countries around the world. When I do, usually it's very short meetings, I make sure that they're filled with love.
Mm.
Not because of them, not because I'm trying to prove anything to them, but because if I am so full, what will I overflow with?
Yes.
With peace and
Yes.
love. And to me, another word that is love is acceptance. I accept that it's not in their journey at the moment, it's not in their part at the moment to be spiritual, and that's fine. It's totally fine. You know, there's all sorts of people who make up the world, but I don't feel like there's a distance between us. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I really feel like bless them. You know, I always say to God, bless them, let them be happy in their life, even though it's not my choice of life. So soulful means I have the wisdom and the understanding to know that this is their path, it's different to mine, but I also have the power, you know, the inner fullness, not to react, not to expect them to be a particular way. And if I'm full, then, you know, even for those short moments of time, I can just bring a good energy into the gathering. And I know what you mean, because some of us on a spiritual journey really feel like, I mean, I must admit, it's hard to have conversations that are superficial for too long. You know,
Yes.
people ask me, why don't you go into parties? Why don't you go? You know, you could go there and spread this light. And I say, yes, I could. But, you know, beyond an hour or 2 hours, I can't sit somewhere for 8 hours just talking about the weather and politics. It doesn't work for me. Really, it
Yes.
doesn't work for me anymore.
Yes.
So I'm so happy to meet with people. And I'm a very fun-loving person. You know, you can take me for walks, you can take me to play games, I'm happy to do all of that. It's not like I sit in a cave and meditate all day. I don't. But at the same time, to gossip or to let my conversations go into wasteful matters that just have negative energy and impact on the world, I don't want to go there. So I spend, you know, limited time, but I make sure that's quality time and that I'm leaving an impact of love and peace.
Thank you. That's good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else who's got a question?
I have a question, Sister Sona. I know this is a very broad question that might need a session by itself, but I don't know how you can benefit us in the shortest time you can. Well, my question is, how do we resolve these unresolved issues that are still there and even accumulating, going through many experiences and situations in life that keeps triggering them frequently? It could be not only this life of 30, 40, 50 years, it could be even from past lives, and you keep unaware how to get there and solve them. Well, I've been listening to many about yoga, meditation, acceptance, going with the flow, wisdom, but then sometimes you feel that the emotions are very strong, stronger than what you are. So I don't know, and I'm talking about practical tool. I don't know, I've tried a lot about these theoretical meditations and sitting there and excuse me for this, but then it's not resolved and it's there. And we're still encountering these every now and then.
Yeah, so there's a few steps that you can take to resolve things, and I was going to come to that, so it's good you've prompted it. And these are things that I do in my life, so this is not theory. This is very much my own practice. When I see myself getting emotional, when I can see that there's a big sort of surge, I call it an emotional spike. You know, like you have sugar spikes. So whenever I have an emotional spike, the first thing I do is I go, hang on, Sona, where is that coming from? What is it inside you that is creating that spike? And if I can be more specific, what attachment do you still have inside you? Is it to an opinion, an idea? Is it to right and wrong? Because that's also connected with your ideas of right and wrong. Is it to a should or an expectation of what you want to happen in life, which is, it's all connected, right? But I always ask myself, Sona, what is the attachment that's creating this emotional mess? When you can really identify that, then you can start the work of resolving it. And in the work of resolving it, for me, I have to come into myself, not Sona the way I am, but I have to elevate my vision, elevate my consciousness to a state where I can see what's happening with the eyes of compassion and mercy, a little bit like an angel. If I can see what is happening, whether it's a situation, whether it's a person behaving in a particular way, if I can see it with the eyes of compassion and mercy, then, I can say that I've reached a place where I can start to resolve this. Until I stay within my personality and I look at it, I'm going to see it as being wrong, as bad, shouldn't be like this, should have been like that. Whether it's a past issue, whether it's a current issue. It's only when I can take myself to that place of mercy, compassion, what I like to call the angel, when I can be the angel and then see everything. It's only then that I can start to shift this deep trauma, this open wound inside me. And it doesn't take long to do it, but I first need to get to that stage. And the more I can sit there and just understand that nobody is bad, nobody's horrible, people are just really flat batteries, and situations are very karmic now. You think this is how it's going to be. You might have a family gathering and you've all paid tickets to go somewhere and have a holiday, and then it ends up being the worst holiday. Everyone's screaming at each other. I would never wish it on anyone, but things happen like this, And just to understand that there's a lot of negative energies in the world today that are clashing with each other. Let me not get caught up in that. And so if I can stay in the state of an angel and watch it and say, so be it. It's okay. I accept. It's only in that state that I start to heal. As long as I'm caught up in it and I'm in that negative personality, I can't heal. And the more I lift myself and I stay there, the more I start to rewire myself from unresolved to acceptance and resolution. Because a spiritual journey is a journey from being human, ultimately to being a compassionate, pure being. In my language, an angel. It's step by step, as I said. You're not going to sprout wings suddenly and take off and be an angel. But check every time you become emotional. Check yourself. Where did the pain come from? Where is the attachment? And then detach from that. Fly above it. Take on a different personality. A personality of love, of compassion. Look at yourself, look at the other, look at the situation, but look with the eyes of an angel. And keep holding that vision. Keep holding that vision, even though it's hard, and you feel like blaming them, and you feel like saying that's not right, and I need to fight this, and I need to react, and don't do it. Just stay there. Just stay there. If you believe in a God, be that angel with God. Stay with him. Watch from his eyes. And then the rewiring starts to happen. Okay, I hope I've answered that correctly and in a way that helps. And so,
thank you.
So to be full.
Shall I ask you something?
Yes?
Shall I ask you something about, which means that we cannot solve everything with people We have to solve with the Supreme Soul. That we cannot
Well, I would
solve
say
things.
God or the Supreme Being will help you to give you power, give you perspective, a perspective of compassion. But I need to solve everything with me. I need to resolve everything with me. When I've resolved myself, I've solved everything.
Sister Sona, just allow me please to drop one point, and it's up to you. If you don't have time to answer me on any other day, any other session, the more difficult thing is when it's not about what others or maybe life is doing to you, when it is what you are doing to yourself, how you are sabotaging yourself. It's this feeling of fear of the unknown, the future, that is sometimes killing. So it's not about relationships, it's not about reactions from others, it's not about different experiences. It could be attachment, it could be in a way, as you explained it, attachment, but it's about fear of things that haven't happened yet, which is more difficult to resolve. You can go above things and look with an eye of an angel, compassion and love at things that happen and resolve them with this love. The things that haven't happened is sometimes more torturing.
Yeah. So you see fear or anxiety or worry. If you unpack what is fear, ultimately fear is a perception of loss. It is a feeling that I don't know what I might lose, or I have fear of what might be taken away from me. And sometimes it's my life. So the reality is I have not understood that nothing is mine. There's nothing to lose. When I become an angel and I look from that perspective, I realize that my entire life, including this physical body, is not mine. I'm on a journey. And everything you have, your bank account, your house, your 5 cars, your children, your family, your everything, your boat, your yacht, your work, your job, your profession, your titles, your labels, everything that you think that you have is not yours. It's on loan. Your body is on loan. But if you haven't understood the understanding behind fear, it means that you're still attached to one of these things. The angel is not. The angel looks down and goes, none of that is me. Even my personality is not me. It's something that I've acquired through life. The ultimate personality that is closest to my perfect stage, closest to the Creator, is love, peace, and joy. So I'm actually attached to being fearful. I want to stay in that fear. I say I don't, but I'm not ready to let go. And so, dealing with fear, anxiety, and worry means I need to identify, because for all of us it's a different fear. I need to identify, what do I think I can lose? And then through understanding, realize it's not mine. I'm going to lose it anyway. Why am I hanging on to it? The only thing I can hang on to forever is the Supreme, the Divine. That's it. There's nothing else. It's a simple answer, and I know it's just a 2-minute answer, but your attachment is with the fear. My attachment is not fear, it's something else. Someone else's attachment is something else. We all need to do our own inner work. We all need to do our own resolving, come to a resolution. And through understanding, power, the expression of virtues, and the incredible pure energy I get from others, where I feel blessed and I feel supported, and I know that I've done the right thing, I can be soulful. Okay.
Can I say something about fear?
So can you say something about
fear?
Fear? Well, I don't want to go into fear as a topic.
No.
Because I want to finish on time.
Just a quick
comment.
explanation. Because in Tunisia, this has happened to me. I was doing the course to a group of people, and one of the people said, I am stressed, and everybody else said, I am stressed. And fear is also the same. One is afraid, other people also get afraid.
Absolutely.
Without knowing why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's illogical. Sometimes it's illogical fear, and there is no need to fear, because whatever we lose, if the car is in an accident, I can get another car.
Well, you know, the reality is, like I said, all of our programming and wiring is different.
Yeah.
So it might, what's logical for you may not be logical for someone else because they have a different experience and a memory. So we need to each individually deal with our own stuff. You know, what to me is not an issue for you. So, you know, we say it's illogical, but for that person, it's very real. And, you know, with the eyes of compassion, I think, wow, this person believes this is reality. It's not my reality, but somewhere in their journey, this is what they have experienced as their reality. Okay? So, yes.
My husband asked about facing uncomfortable reality. Is the solution to isolate ourselves so our mental health is not affected?
Yeah, so again, if I am, it's a question, if I am facing an uncomfortable reality, should I isolate myself so my mental health is not affected? I think, look, each one of us only knows our mental health. And if you are being triggered a lot, and you can't find any resolution, sometimes we need to, for some time, pull back and be quiet. The word they use in the army is, you know, when you're being bombarded, you retreat. Isn't that right? You retreat. Retreat means you pull back, you step back. And what do you do then? You regroup. You get your, you know, your teams together, you get a new strategy, you become strong, you eat some food, you know, and then when you're strong and ready, you can go forward again and re-engage. I think the problem is many people, they don't retreat, they run away. They run away from the issue because they think the issue is the problem, the world is the problem. But actually, I'm not strong enough inside, and that's why I'm being affected. So there are times, Mayada, when I too, you know, it's been really hard. It's like one emotional spike after another. And I know I just need a break. I need some space. I need some time out. And it's okay to say that, really. But I also know that I need to work on myself and sort out where and how I'm being triggered again and again. And then go back to the situation. Go back and re-engage. Because if I don't do that, I haven't resolved anything. And ultimately, wherever I am, in another situation, it will get triggered again. Whatever is not resolved will ultimately be triggered again. You can't run away from yourself. You can run away from the world. But you can't run away from yourself. So I hope that helps, Mayada. Thanks for your question. So it's been quite a full 1 hour, hasn't it? It's been, I think, 55 minutes, and I would really like to end with what is our core, I guess, business, our core game, you know, which is meditation. What does meditation do? Meditation is the most perfect tool to help you to resolve things inside. Because meditation helps me to see myself honestly. Meditation helps me to bring power in the soul. Meditation helps me to understand that I've always got the divine on my side. He's always there to support me. And he wants me to go back to my state of complete purity, cleanliness, resolution. He wants me to be full. Why? Because if I am soulful, I can go round and overflow that love, that peace, that happiness, and give to all. So, is that okay? So I'll just leave it at that. And can we do some meditation, everyone? Is that okay? If you have personal questions and anything else you want to ask that we weren't able to cover, I would really recommend that you write in. I think most of you have a contact for Inner Space Center. Please do send your questions in personally. We'd be so happy to answer them and to stay connected and to support you in any way. And some things are very personal, aren't they? The other thing to mention is that I'm planning a retreat called Soulful, and it's going to be in Australia with Brother Charlie, the person I spoke about, the infectious laughter person. And if anyone would like to come, it will be the topic that we've discussed, but much deeper. And lots of workshops and games and activities. Plus there'll be some sightseeing in Australia as well, in Melbourne. I'd love to take you all with me. So if you're interested, please do contact me. For now, let's end with some meditation. So please just sit comfortably on the chair that you are. Put your pens and paper down, your phones down, and just bring your mind to yourself. Focus on the inner me, I, the being. I, the soul, the one who thinks and feels. And I look within, and I check the heart of the soul. And with a lot of honesty, I ask myself, how are you going? Where do you get triggered? Where is the emptiness? What remains unresolved? What feeling do you have when your emotions go on a spike? I ask myself with honesty, is it fear? Is it sadness? Is it rejection? What is it that gets triggered again and again? Is it low self-respect? The fact that I'm not worthy? What is it? And now, join me. Imagine you can leave yourself, your body, your personality. Leave all of that sitting on the chair. And wherever you are in the world, just float up above. Join me and let's meet in a big fluffy cloud just above the earth. Imagine you come up there and I'm there and everyone on the call is up there. And we meet like angels on this fluffy cloud and we look down on the earth and we see the personality, we see the body, we see the conditioning. But from this place up here, we're all together like angels looking down. And we understand the way we are. We understand why we've become like this. We have so much compassion, so much mercy. And then we look at each other. We look at each other's personalities and we go, oh, I understand the way you are. It's okay. And as long as I stay in this elevated consciousness, this place of being full of understanding, of compassion, of strength, I'm starting to rewire myself to change my reactions, to heal the situations inside, the wounds inside, I'm starting to fill myself with everything good. And all of us on this cloud, like angels. And above us, the one divine light, the one who's always radiating light of love on each soul, his creation. And in this moment, I feel so safe, so protected. And I realize nothing really matters. It's all just a game. Now bring your mind back. And even though you come down to the consciousness of your body, your personality, just feel a little shift. A shift where you've understood yourself better and something is healed. Something that you were able to let go of. Realize it's not needed. Now a deep breath in and let it out. That's it. And fill your body with oxygen again. That's it. And out. So I really hope you enjoyed that. It's a very deep topic. Could probably have Soulful Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, looking at all sorts of different ways in which we can be full and work with whatever's empty. And so next Saturday we don't have a retreat, it's a little break. And the following Saturday, on the 25th of February, we have a retreat in Arabic. So if anyone would like to join that retreat, you're welcome. And then on the 1st of February, I'll be back with another retreat in English. A retreat as in a workshop, Saturday workshop. So look forward to seeing you all then. And anyone interested in joining either the retreat, Soulful in Australia, and even a 12-month program that we are running from Inner Space. It's a program once a month called Discover Yourself. It's almost full actually, but if there's one or two more people who'd like to join, happy to fit you in. So thank you. Thanks for joining, for sparing valuable time wherever you are in the world, and see you again.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.